Good day to all of you. Welcome to the Japan. My name is Mary Grace Capuno. You can call me Grace or Ate Grace. And I will be your tour guide for 4 days. So Japan is an island country in East Asia. It is situated in a Northeast Pacific Ocean and is bordered on the west by the Sea of Japan, while extending from the Sea of Okhotsk and the north toward the East China Sea and the Taiwan in the south. In my watch, it is already 6:30 a.m. so please set your time at 6:30 a.m. in the morning to avoid conflict in our schedule. But before we start our adventure, I would like to give you some reminder. First, if you cannot hear me or you cannot understand me what I'm saying, please raise your hand and do not hesitate to ask me. Second, please always stay in your group. Third, lettering is as prohibited and a destination that we are going to, so let's pressure our environment. Fourth, secure the belonging things, and lastly, enjoy.
So, a background of our itinerary will start off from Mount Fuji, then next is the Imperial Tokyo, then eat our lunch, then we go back to hotel to take a rest. And the second day, we are going to historic Kyoto in the morning, then in the afternoon, we're going to Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. And the third day, we're going to Narita-san Shinshuji, Narita, and Matsumoto Castle, Nagano. The next, we're going back to the hotel to take a rest. And the last day, we're going to the island shrine of Etsukishima and back to the airport.
And now we are here in Mount Fuji. Without a doubt, Japan's most recognized landmark, majestic Mount Fuji or Fujisan, is also the country's highest mountain peak, towering 3,776 meters over an otherwise largely flat landscape to the south and east. This majestic and fabled mountain is tall enough to be seen from Tokyo more than 100 kilometers away. Mount Fuji has for centuries been celebrated in art and literature and is now considered so important an icon that UNESCO recognized its world cultural significance in 2013. Part of the Fuji Hakorn or Aizo National Peak, Mount Fuji is climbed by more than 1 million people each summer as an act of pilgrimage which climates and watching the sunrise from its summits. While some still choose to begin their climb from the base, the majority of climbers now start from the above of half mark at the fifth station, resulting in a more manageable 6 or 50-hour ascent. Those who attempt the complete climb are advised to do part in the afternoon, breaking up the climb with an overnight stop at one of the D mountain hands. Designed for this purpose, an early start the next day gets you to the top for the sunrise. Of course, for the men simply viewing the mountain from the distance or from the comfort of a spending train is enough to say, begin there, than that. And now we are here in our second destination, the Imperial Tokyo. Tokyo's most famous landmark, the Imperial Palace, with its beautiful 17th century park surrounded by walls and moats, it's a must-see when visiting the nation's capital. Do not be put off by the fact that the majority of the palace is closed to the public, or it is still in use by the imperial family, as there is still enough to say simply by the strolling the grounds. In addition to the many fine views of the palace from numerous points in the surrounding parkland, visitors are permitted into the East highest Biden Garden and the other areas that are open to the public as part of an organized tour. One of the most romantic views is the famous Nijubashi Bridge or Double Bridge, so named for its water reflection. Another one of the must see for tourists visiting Tokyo is the famous Ginza shopping district. This away bustling area is home to the Kabuki-za treat with his kabuki performance as well as the Shimbashi Imbujo Trito, which is a traditional Azoma Odori dances and a Bundakora performance.
So, we are taking a brief trivia in Japan. The name Japan is Nihon or Nippon, which means land of the rising sun. It was once believed that Japan was the first country to see the sunrise in the east in the morning. Japan has the third longest life expectancy in the world, with men living to 81 years old and the women living to almost 88 years old. The Japanese live an average 4 years longer than Americans.
First destination of day 2.
Now, the second day of our tour is we are here in a historic Kyoto. One of the Japan most visited city, lovely Kyoto, one of the few cities in the country to be spared the devastation of WW11 or attracts more than 10 million visitors annually. Most of them are here to explore Kyoto's fine old streets and the architecture, much of the unchanged since the imperial family took up residence here more than 1,000 years ago. Even then, the city was Japan's most important cultural center. This legacy, in fact, continues to this day with its many museums and art galleries, each birthing which important sculpture, paintings, and other art forms. Highlight of Kyoto Buddhist influenced architecture include its many well-preserved temples, 30 of which are still in use, and important structures such as the 40th century Golden Pavilion of Kinkajuji, famous for its exquisite gold leaf-clad exterior. Be sure to also visit Nijo Castle, a 17th century fortress has retained its original walls, towers, and moat. Also worth seeing are the castle's beautiful gates along with its palace with fine interior decor. Another landmark to visit is the original Kyoto Imperial Palace of Kyoto Gosho, built in AD 794. It is one of the city's most visited historic sites. Finally, no visit to Kyoto is complete without spending time exploring the Harashiyama Bamboo Grove. This beautiful area of a tall bamboo is just a few minutes walk from the town center.
Second destination for day
Hiroshima
2.
Peace Memorial Park.
So we are here now in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. While little needs to be said here of the horrors of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima in August 1945, much can be said of the incredible efforts this barren city has made to commemorate the many victims of the world's first nuclear attack. Perhaps even more importantly, Hiroshima has become a symbol of lasting peace, visited by more than 1 million people each year, many from Dorses, Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park or Hiroshima Hiwi Kennen Coin, less at the epicenter of the atomic blast and what was once a blasting part of the city. Here you'll find a number of important monuments, memorials, and museums relating to the events or that fatefully day. In addition to the grounds and the gardens with their colorful cherry blossom, the park is where you find the Peace Memorial Museum with its numerous exhibits dealing with the issue of world peace. It is also where you find the atom bomb dome, the bones of the administrative building that lay the center of the explosion.
First destination of day 3.
And now we are here the Naratisan Senchuji o Narita. Dating back more than 1,000 years, the Naritisan Senchuji Temple is one of the most popular Buddhist temples in Japan. The purpose for the temple was to protect and pay homage to statue of the Buddhist god Fudo Nyu, which is said to have been carved by Kobo Dashi. Within the temple grounds are several buildings including several different styles, pagodas, a park, and a main hall. Approaching the temple complex is like stepping back in time. The half-mile journey from the rail station to the temple complex is a road line with a restaurant and a handicraft stores. The same has been true of the street for the hundreds of years, while the stores themselves maybe have a 21st century appeal. The arrival experience to the temple complex has remained unchanged for centuries.
Second destination for day 3.
Matsumo Castle, Nagano. Japan has hundreds of beautiful historic castles, but none 15 as complete or mesmerizing as a Matsumoto is located in the city of Nagano. That one of the best time to visit the castle is the spring, when the grounds of the castle are powdered a soft pink without the bloom or thousand of cherry blossom. Inside the castle, visitors have one of the best glimpses back into time. Matsumoto Castle was maintained its wooden interiors, giving a true historic feel to the experience. Matsumoto is considered to be the one five castles that are designed as national treasure of Japan. It is the oldest six-story castle tower that remains in the country.
Last destination.
And now for the last destination, the island shrine of Itsukishima, Miyajima. Just a short ferry ride from mainland, Hiroshima is the islands of Miyajima, famous the world over as Japan's Shrine Islands, covering an area of 30 square kilometers in Hiroshima Bay. Miyajima is best known as a home of the Itsukushima Shrine, a Shinto temple dedicated to the princess daughters of the wind god Susanoo. Dating from the 8th century, the majority of the shrine building rises out of the waters of a small bay supported only by piles. The effect at high tide is simply stunning, making the structure, including the famous Great Floating Gate, or Otoi, appear as they are floating on water, linked together by walkways and bridges. It's a fascinating place to explore, in particular its larger hills. These include the exquisite Handen Omen Hall, the Offering Hall or Hidden, the Prayer Hall or Haden, and the Hall of a Thousand Mats, Senjo Kako. Another notable feature is the shrine stage, where the visitors are entertained with traditional dances and musical performances. Also worth exploring are the island's exquisite grounds and gardens, home to wildlife and numerous bird colonies. So our tour has officially ended. I hope you enjoyed and had fun, and do not forget to tag me in your photos. And this has been your tour guide, Ate Grace. I hope to see you again soon. Have a safe trip. Thank you.
Capuno, Mary Grace up one a night. Thanks you.